Welcome to the Week 1 NFL Thursday Night Football preview breakdown video from Lock DFS. I'm Christian Hardy. I'm with Adi. We're going to be breaking down the Packers and the Bears. It's the very first NFL video for us. So we've got a lot to get to before we actually break down the slate. Adi, are you excited though?
Dude, am I excited? I could not be more excited.
Oh yeah.
Baseball's been fun. Overall it's been a good season. But once you get to 130 games deep into the baseball season and you've just been doing this for 100, I could not be more ready for football.
And now there's late scratches and stuff. It's just
I could not be more ready for football.
It's time. Yeah. I mean, I got a little bit of a taste of it with college football last weekend. And it's like nothing even baseball doesn't even compare to what the thrill you get from football.
Yeah, man. 1 p.m. on Sunday,
Yeah, and then Sunday's coming.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You'll be ready. All right. So first of all, we're going to be again working with PrizePicks this year, sponsored by PrizePicks. So we're going to be doing all sorts of promos with them. But the first one we want to talk about, they have a pretty big promo going on for this week 1. A lot of you guys might have already signed up through our affiliate link or through using the code. It's just LOCKS if you sign up. If you have signed up, they're doing a deposit match. So any deposit of $100, they will match 10%, and you also get a free pick 2 to win $25. A $250 deposit, you'll have a 25% match, and a pick 2 to win $50. And the pick 2s are the easiest to do on PrizePicks. If you haven't played there, it's basically you're parlaying fantasy points. We'll talk about some of these later on in the segment, but I just wanted to mention that. And then also the biggest deposit bonus comes on $500 to $2,000 deposit bonuses, 50% match. So if you deposit $500, you'll get $250 for free, no drip, straight into your account, and you also get a free pick 2 to win $100. So the offer is going to end tomorrow when this slate kicks off. Like I said, we'll be giving you guys some picks for the game when it comes up. But if you are not a member on there, definitely check them out. A very fun site to play on, especially on these single game slates. I think they're a lot of fun. And there's even NBA was quite a bit of fun. College basketball, I made some picks on there.
NHL was fun on that site. So
yeah. Whenever we make a video on YouTube, we'll probably be mentioning some PrizePicks. So if you guys and also in the Slack, if you are a member, we'll be talking a lot about those PrizePicks. So if you're not a member already, use code LOCKS and get on there. All right. And then real quick, we'll also talk about, I know a lot of you guys probably just want to get into the slate. We're also going to talk about our schedule real quick for those of you guys who don't know. Our free NFL content this year is going to change a little bit on YouTube. I mean, it's going to be most of the same. We're going to have this free Thursday Night Showdown video every Thursday. We are going to have the weekly top plays, which is basically be a position by position breakdown, going through some of the top, the best options, across prices on both sites. And then Adi is going to be back with Adi's Action, the classic Adi's Action videos for this season.
And so those will be on Friday.
Yeah, and those will be on Friday. Yeah.
Every day, yeah.
And so those will be the free content on YouTube. We're debating we might also throw in some Monday Night Football videos. It just depends, but we're planning on just doing those 3 videos on a week-to-week basis. And then the rest of our content will all be premium on locksdfs.com. If you haven't checked it out yet, we do have a new site. If you haven't seen it since last year, if you're just an NFL member, we're going to have Thursday night, Sunday, Monday night showdown content. Our cash game strategy and GBP routes you can take. For those Sunday and Monday night slates, we might also put out a little video just for members or a podcast, something like that. We haven't decided exactly what we're going to do with that. We're going to test out some things and see how members take to it. But at the very bare minimum, we get a written breakdown with our cash game strategy and GBP routes you can take. Of course, we're going to have the lock sheets for the main slate with player grades and analysis on DraftKings and FanDuel, which is also going to include some locks for cash games on those sheets on both sites. So it should be 3 or 4 locks for both sites. And then with our pass, you'll also get a invite to our Slack channel where you can discuss your builds with us. You'll have access to you also have access to our Sunday morning live stream, which will only be posted on our website for members. So that it'll be on YouTube, but it will not be public. And if you are not a member yet, we have monthly passes for only $40 a month, but you can also use code WEEK1, and I'll put that again in the description. Week 1 for $50 off our season package, which is $199 right now. So $50 off. I'll probably have it expire on Sunday. So you'll have until then, and just use code week1. You'll get $50 off that $199 price. It'll be $149. All right.
Let's do it.
That was a lot to talk about, but I had it all ready to get into the slate now.
Yeah.
Very excited. So I usually start this off by talking about injuries. Of course, it's week 1, so there's not a whole lot going on. The only injury to note is that Trey Burton is questionable. I think he's been banged up for about a week now, and he's supposed to be a game time decision. He missed, I think, just like the last week of practice. I think he was limited on Thursday, or I guess it was Tuesday. And if he doesn't play, we're going to see a lot of people play Adam Shaheen, who, I mean, look at that face. Look at him. He looks like an offensive lineman. He's like 6'6". He's gonna be the tight end 1, like locked in. If
he'll probably catch a touchdown, right? I mean, if Trey Burton's out, Adam Shaheen's catching a touchdown, and people are gonna
he'll be extremely jockey.
What is he?
If Burton's out,
200? Is he the bare minimum?
Or 400 in flex, 600 captain. He's the minimum on FanDuel as well. So
okay.
Definitely, that's really the only injury note. But all right, so where do you want to start with this? You want to start with the quarterbacks, or do you want to go positionally? Do you want to just start at the top and talk about, you've got 3 guys at the top, and Adams, Rodgers, and Trubisky, kind of like out of those guys are.
I think I think a good place to start is just with a certain side of the offense, and then decide like which one you like more.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm gonna be looking at the Bears. They are at home. I think it's gonna be live at Soldier Field. They're gonna unleash David Montgomery, who's probably my favorite individual play on this slate. I don't know about you, but I mean, the dude just looked awesome in preseason in the short sample size that we've seen him. I mean, the hype around him is real. This Green Bay run defense ranked 24th in the league last year, and then they cut Mike Daniels, who was their best run defender in 2018. So I'm super interested in David Montgomery. I think we're going to see him catch a few balls. I think we're going to see him eventually take away from Tariq Cohen as the season goes on. But he'll probably be a guy that I look towards in the captain spot. And if not, he'll definitely make the team as far as flex positions go.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably the top running back along with Darrell Henderson in college football last year. He did break the most tackles in college football last year. He has some receiving skills. Of course, you're going to have someone like Tariq Cohen maybe in the backfield. I mean, he can line up in other places, but he's going to catch the balls out of the backfield as well. But I do think we might see, I mean, just because of how the hype around Montgomery, I mean, coming from every like part of the Bears organization, like I think that we could see him really take some snaps from Cohen, potentially, like compared to last year.
Mm-hmm.
Cohen's always going to be like a boomer bust option, and you got Montgomery, who is going to be much safer. He's not going to be as jittery, maybe, is that the way you might say, I don't know, as Cohen, but he's going to be a guy who can still do everything. He's got a amazing like getting to the second level. I mean, with almost every time you put the ball in his hands, he's going to get you to the second level because he keeps his legs moving. He reminds me a lot of like an early, or like Zeke when he came to the league. Really, like he just doesn't go down when you hit him the first time. It's just not happening. So, and that's going to work really well against, first of all, a game where they're going to want to probably keep the ball in their hands against Aaron Rodgers, even though they've got a great defense.
Right.
They're going to want to keep the ball on their side, run the clock down, grind out the defense. I think that's going to kind of be their strategy going in. And then if they have to change it going forward, it might change. But Montgomery probably my favorite play as well.
Few more things on Montgomery too is that the Bears are returning all 5 offensive line starters from last year, so you don't have really too many offensive line worries there. And the Bears do run the ball at one of the highest rates in the league. They ran the ball on average 30 times a game last year. So if you just pencil in, if you just pencil in like, somewhere around 20 touches.
Right. Yeah, I think that's probably where
something around there, 18 to 20 touches. I think he smashes his value on both sides.
For sure. I think one thing under him, and one thing below him that I think is the next thing to talk about is really like Geronimo Allison versus Valdez-Scantling. Valdez-Scantling, the guy who's been getting a ton of hype as a guy who will break out in the new LaFleur offense. Of course, he's a guy who did start getting snaps down the stretch last year a whole lot. But in this game, you've got Geronimo Allison going to be coming up against Buster Screen in the slot. Allison should be playing almost exclusively in the slot. I mean, how do you feel about those two? So on DraftKings, you have Allison, who's a little bit more expensive. On FanDuel, you have Scanling's a little bit more expensive.
Right.
I think a lot of people will probably end up with one of these two in their lineups. Kind of where do you fall on those two?
I think in general, I'm going to lead towards Valdez-Scantling just because he is their number 2 wide receiver. He should receive slightly more targets per game. But in this specific matchup, I do like Geronimo Allison. He's going to be primarily matched up against Buster Skrine or Screen. I don't know how you pronounce that. But like you said, he is their primary slot wide receiver. So Buster Skrine or Screen, however you guys remember him, he was getting torched last year. He coughed up third most yards in the league, 537, and an NFL high 5 touchdowns from the slot. If you don't remember, he was on the Jets that year. So I'm going to be all over Geronimo Allison as far as versus Valdez-Scantling. I think if I do get exposure to Green Bay, it'll probably come – I mean, which I will, obviously, because there is some slight reverse line movement. Still early, but coming in on Green Bay. It'll probably come in the form of a Rodgers, Geronimo Allison stack. Which I'm a fan of for sure.
I mean, just based – obviously we see Rodgers a little more expensive than Trubisky, but, I mean, projection-wise, these two are going to be pretty balanced. Obviously, Rodgers is playing with a new offensive coordinator. We haven't seen exactly how that's going to go. We're going to expect him to play less out of the shotgun, more play action, basically, is what we're going to be looking at. And we just haven't seen it yet. And this is a really tough matchup. Not only are they playing the Bears, but playing the Bears in Soldier Field as an underdog. Obviously, it's Aaron Rodgers, and he's got a new offensive coordinator. That's very exciting. But it's definitely a little bit of a wait and see for me, like, because of the matchup. That doesn't mean I'm not going to have Rodgers in cash. He's a quarterback one, like, you know, if you're drafting your fantasy leagues, like, you know, all that sort of stuff. But it's a tough matchup, and their team total is what, like 21?
Right. I think it's up to almost 22 now. Yeah. Or it's 21.5 up to 21.75. So
okay. Yeah,
they receive 56% of the bets. They move from +4 to +3 on the money line. So not crazy reverse line movement. I wouldn't even call it reverse line movement. I'll just call it positive line movement in their favor. You know,
Rodgers is probably my favorite out of those 3 high price guys. Like, if you can only afford one of those 3, I think it's Rodgers for me.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think the Bears are probably going to keep it on the ground a lot. If they can keep a lead, even if it's a small lead. And it seems like the Packers will probably have to pass because the Bears' run defense is elite. You know, they had the second best run defense last year. I just don't know. You know, Aaron Jones is a good running back. Obviously, he proved it last year. Not like amazing, but, you know, very good and contributes in the passing game. But Rodgers, Rodgers has the highest floor to me out of all those guys. So, but I'm also I'm never going to be paying for any of those 3 basically in my MVP spot. I think you can get better value elsewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously GPPs do whatever you want. Like, but if you're looking like in cash games, like you're just not getting the most value if you're going with one of those 3 in your MVP. I don't think.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
So expensive.
Yeah, I think I agree with that take as well, that I would have Aaron Rodgers as my highest projected guy to those top 3 at least. I mean, maybe there's a case to be made for Devontae Adams on a PPR site like DraftKings, but I just think, the floor you're getting with Aaron Rodgers is sort of like, you know, the Packers are going to want the ball in his hand as much as possible. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you liked Allen Robinson. Do you want to talk about why you like Allen Robinson?
Yeah, I did like Allen Robinson. I was just reading about him. I want to give a shout out though to Evan Silva on his article. He was just talking about how let me get the exact quote just so I don't butcher it.
It's basically just how much they played man coverage.
Yeah, so Allen Robinson had the NFL's 3rd highest target rate versus man coverage over the last 2 seasons. And Green Bay under Mike Pettine ran the 4th highest clip of man coverage. So it's just sort of like a good spot as far as what he does well versus what the defense does a lot. So I think that gives you a lot of upside with Allen Robinson. Actually, I really wanted to mention Allen Robinson on Prize Picks while we're at it.
Yeah. We can actually jump over there real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, because Prize Picks is a PPR site, so meaning point per reception. And so I think the projected score of 13.7 is actually pretty fair for Allen Robinson. I think my favorite guy on this site is going to be David Montgomery. I don't know how you feel, probably the same way.
Yeah, I mean, if we're giving him 18, 20 touches, like I think he smashes that.
Yeah, I think an over is pretty easy over there. But I really like the Allen Robinson over as well. I think we got see him have, a pretty massive game and also a pretty massive season.
Yeah.
If he remains healthy. So I just think this is a good sort of buy low spot before he really starts exploding as the season gets going.
While we're on Prize Picks, just to kind of wrap up the Prize Picks segment, we do both like the under on Tariq Cohen too. Obviously, Cohen is a guy who can break out like any moment. He's gonna have he's gonna get a few rushes. He's gonna get a few catches. So all it's gonna take is like a 35-yard catch from this. He's a pretty good player. It's just a matter of how many touches he's gonna get. This projection is way too high for the amount of touches you expect Cohen to get in this game, which should probably be around 9.
Yeah, I would say 8 to 10 is like a solid amount. That'd be solid.
That's the best under for me. And then I think I'm on the same page with Allen Robinson and Montgomery. I do prefer the Montgomery over. If I was taking a pick two, it'd be the Montgomery over and the Cohen under.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And these go well together too, because if Montgomery hits that over, Cohen's probably hitting that under.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Two guys. Well, so obviously we never really talk about him on the channel, but kickers are always in playing cash games. There's not really much else to say about that. They always project decently. You're just not going to have upside. So don't play them in GPPs. But if you are looking at cash games, like kickers, kind of makes sense. On this slate, you have two guys down here that are going to be getting snaps. I mean, Shaheen is completely reliant on Trey Burton. That's all there is to say. I honestly think he'll probably be one of the more chalky players on the slate. If Burton is out, if Burton is in, obviously you can forget about Shaheen. But the other guy is Jake Kumaro. Do you want to talk about Kumaro at all? I mean, he's a wide receiver 4 for the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, preseason darling. A lot of people are real high on him after he put up another monster preseason. I mean, he's 6'5", 208 pounds. That's kind of what you want in a wide receiver. Aaron Rodgers did have that quote earlier that he does trust him, which is, something that you like to hear from your star quarterback. Don't know what his usage is going to look like at all. I mean, he could be on the field for 20% of the snaps or less. But, for 600, he catches a touchdown or a big play.
He goes 2 for 20. He's smashing 600.
Yeah, right. He goes 2 for 20. if you're looking at this what is this $10 contest with $1 million to first place, if you get a Jake Kumaro touchdown and he comes in at sub 5% owned and it's a long touchdown, you're kind of looking pretty good there as long as everything else goes according to plan. But I don't mind it. I think you have to recognize what it is. I mean, it's just like it's a GPP punt unless we get more coach speak or unless he's starting. If
you do something like one of these two in captain, which I mean, we'll just play with Shaheen in captain because he's a little cheaper. Like I don't
know if I'd ever go there in captain though.
In a GPP, you can go here if Burton's out.
Sure.
I think you can. Because he catches a touchdown in MVP, and the rest of your team is just stacked with the most obvious go plays. You're in pretty good shape. You can get both quarterbacks, Montgomery, Geronimo Allison, and Allen Robinson or Aaron Jones. Your team is stacked. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, it goes without saying. Of course, it's going to be stacked. You have Adam Shaheen captain, but I mean, it's only a GVP play. But I don't know. You can do it. It's not something I'd ever do in cash ever, but. Firebolt like that. If it burns out and Shaheen catches one, then you're in great shape. My favorite captain is Montgomery. I think my second favorite captain actually is Geronimo Allison.
I was gonna say that. That's not. Yeah. I was gonna say the exact same thing. I like that price.
Yeah. I mean. I don't know how that Valdez-Scantling is going to play out. Valdez-Scantling has had so much preseason hype, but this is just not the spot, this is not the spot that I want to pick Valdez-Scantling. They've got pretty good boundary corners. I'm so excited though to see how this LaFleur offense kind of plays out. It's going to be so great to see Rodgers in the new offensive system, and I'm just excited to watch football, man. Like it makes me so excited to watch, just thinking about all the stuff that has gone on this offseason, and like that we're here now. Like it's very sick.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I mean, I think it's probably all we should probably. I think that's all we need to talk about. Like I think we pretty much got through everything, right? I mean, do we?
Yeah, I don't see much else that.
Yeah.
There's like who have we not mentioned? Anthony Miller, I guess.
Yeah. He's gonna.
I mean,
go ahead.
He makes some sense on a PPR site because he should. When the season's all said and done, he should be second on the Bears in targets. So I guess he makes some sense, but he's not a guy that I'm prioritizing, especially around the same price as Geronimo Allison. I'd rather have the team that's projected to be trailing. I'd rather have their wide receivers just because I know they're going to have a more secure target floor. Taylor Gabriel, any defense, Jimmy Graham, not interested in any of that. So, I think we probably covered most of the relevant plays.
Yeah, and I think we both prefer, I mean, obviously, because we talked about him so much, Montgomery to like Aaron Jones, just because Jones is coming up against such a good run defense. And, I mean, a team with Aaron Rodgers that is expected to be trailing, it just makes more sense to go towards Montgomery. They both should have a similar share in the offense, I should say, and probably, obviously Montgomery has a more talented backup, but
I think if you run this game 10, 20, 30 times, there's just a way higher probability of the Bears taking a commanding lead and running down the clock over the Packers doing that.
Right.
I just think that's
I mean, even if they do take a commanding lead and they try to run down the clock, how much success is Aaron Jones really going to have?
Right, that too. Right.
So, and it's not even and it's not like their offensive line is anything great either. Like that's not benefiting them. I mean, middle of the pack there. So, okay. All right, so that'll pretty much wrap it up. Again, I'll remind you of two things. I'm going to put them in the description again. Take advantage of the NFL bonuses on Prize Picks if you're not a member on Prize Picks already. We gave you some good picks. Use them. Use code LOCKS to sign up. Helps us out. If you are not a member of Locks DFS yet, remember, I'll again put the code in the description. Week 1 for $50 off our season pass. It'll be good until Sunday, until the official Week 1 slate starts. Once you sign up, we'll get you into our private Slack and all of that good stuff. And there are also monthly options on the site, $40 a month on the site as well, or $39.99. I'm not sure exactly what it is. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Excited to be back.
Yep.
We'll be back with another video tomorrow, breaking down the Sunday slate, and then another video on Friday for Adi's action, breaking down some GPP plays. So thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys next time. Football season, baby. It's back.
See ya.